Okay, the next thing we'll be looking at now is the subtotal. I think after that, then the unique values. We are almost there. So the subtotal, what we'll be doing is this. The best way I will show you this is, first of all, I will do a sum function here just for easy understanding. I'll say sum and subtotal. Okay, so now, you know, let me just go ahead and do it. When you want to write formula in Excel, this one will require me writing a formula, and for us that don't understand formula in Excel, immediately you start with an equal to in Excel. Excel understands that as you're about to input a formula. Now, I want to show us how subtotal works and how sum works. First of all, we are looking at subtotal, but for you to appreciate the subtotal feature, I want you to see how the sum feature works, right? So I will sum this entire column here by putting the formula, the sum function, sum, then select this particular range. So I've selected the entire range and enter. So this is the total of the sum amount that is here. I'll also place the same subtotal here, subtotal. I want to use the sum, so I'll use 109, then select the entire range, good, and enter, good. Now notice, it's the same thing, right? Let me apply the same formatting here, same formatting, good. So it's the same amount, right? The sum and the subtotal is the same, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now notice something. I want to apply filter to this data range. And be watching on these two, just watch on there. I want to apply filter to this data range. And I want to apply this filter based on purchase date. I want only transaction in 2021 to show. So I will deselect this and select only 2021 and say, okay. Watch. You see that the sum changed, but the sum did not change, but the subtotal changed, right?
Yeah.
So you see the difference. The sum function does not consider whether you hide or you filter. You understand? It will just sum the whole thing. But the subtotal is unique in the sense that it ignores those filtered data. Because transaction 2020 is not here, you would see that the subtotal is only showing you the transaction for 2021. This is the uniqueness of subtotal. But the sum is still showing you. So somebody might be looking at this now and maybe thinking this is the sum, looking at the data we have, because you filtered this data. So the subtotal will give you the total of what you are seeing per time. While the sum it's just static, it gives you the total sum of that particular range you have applied in the sum formula. So that's how this tool works, and that's the best way I can explain it. Even if let me just clear the filter. Let me clear this filter, and it will come back. Now let me just hide these three. Manual hiding. We just did filtering, right? So let me do manual hiding. Let me hide 33 to 36, row 33 to 36, and see. Notice, are you seeing that the sum is still the same? The subtotal has reduced. Are you seeing that? The sum is still the same. So the sum function includes rows that are hidden by a filter, and even rows that you manually hide. While the subtotal ignores those rows and give you what is you're actually seeing. So that's one thing you have to understand with the sum and the subtotal, right? The sum and the subtotal. So notice also that in the subtotal, let me click on the formula. There are these numbers. Let me write the formula again. Equals to subtotal. subtotal. Notice that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. 9 is sum, but I didn't use 9. I went to use 109. I used 109. Now, the difference is this. If I use 9, let me use 9 now and sum the entire range here. If I hide any cell manually, the subtotal will still pick it. If I hide any cell manually, you see, but there are cells that are hidden manually, but the subtotal will still pick it because I use that 9. But if I use the 109, the 109 does not consider the hidden cell. So let me just put 109 and I'll say enter. You see, 14. So that's the difference. This first section of the formula that is the number 9 considers the hidden cell, the ones that are manually hidden. Why the subtotal 109 does not consider it? That's something I also want us to note. So some people will say, okay, what's the difference? We have, so it's subtotal.
What you said.
Okay, now look at this subtotal. You see that we have 1 is average, 2 is count, 3 is counter, 4 is max. But these are all formulas, Sha. Let me not do ahead. So if you come to number 9, it's sum, right? Then, because when using subtotal, you need to select what you want the subtotal to do. I want the subtotal to sum. If you want the subtotal to only count, you choose count. If you want the subtotal to look for average, you use average. But this first section of the average, you see that there is average 1. And when you come down again, you see that 101 is average. When you go up, you see that 2 is count. When you come down, you see 102 is count. 3 is counter, 103 is counter. So what's the difference? The difference is that this one above will include any details you hide manually. You might do, I just selected 3 rows and we hid them, right? When we applied this 9, let me apply the 9 again so that you'll understand. Let me apply the 9 and I'll select this range. Mind you, I have 3 cells I hid manually. Good. This. Now I'm using 9, number 9, right? And let me apply conditional, let me apply the formatting on this. Now you see, this is subtotal and this is subtotal. Notice that the subtotal we use here in our formula by, you see 109. Why this one we use 9? Now this 9 does not consider the cells that I hid, because I hid 3 cells from 30, you see from 33 to 36 is hidden. So the 9 just works like the sum. While the 109 considers those, ignores those hidden cells and gives you the actual one that is visible to the user. Did you get that?
Yes, I did. Yes, please. Yes.
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, so the subtotal we just did now.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of concepts, what's the difference between this and the subtotal we got during our outlining?
Okay, there is no difference. There's no difference. But what you did in the outline is that you, first of all, the ability to just outline your data product by product, right? And it giving you subtotal by product is different. This one now, you are just filtering, maybe you are hiding, you're filtering, you're not doing it. You can still do it product by product under the filter, just what we just did now. But that other one is like you are seeing the entire data and you are seeing the subtotal. Do you get that? Yes, you are looking at the entire database and you can view the subtotal by product. If you base your outline by product, if you base it by supplier, you are seeing it, the subtotal by supplier. If you base it by the date, you are seeing subtotal by, but this other one we just show you is just a general subtotal for the entire data. And when you filter, it will give you based on that, which is the same thing with that first one. It is important to know that in Excel, there is more than one way to achieve something. Have that in mind. I can use the outline if outline is okay for me. I can use this the subtotal here. If I put in the subtotal formula, I'll just come and filter the product by supplier, and it will be given me, right? It depends on your audience, what they want per time, and the best data that will give them meaning and understanding of what they need to make decision, right? So that particular outline is giving you subtotal by product. This one we did is giving you the general, but you can still filter, and it will give you based on the data you filter. If you filter just for supplier 001, it gives you the subtotal for supplier 001, right? So it's given the same thing, but it's a different scenario, and depending on what you want to do and which one works for you best. In Excel, there is more than one way to do something. For you, an Excel user, at each point, which one works for you best? That is what is key. Are we there?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay. So I think the last one we'll be looking at, which is, yes, someone is saying something.
Yes, I observed something while we were doing the subtotal and all. The number section in our home tab was accounting, but after clearing all the formulas, it went back to general.
Okay. Now, because the first cell I inputted had that accounting formatting, that's this place, right?
Yes.
Okay. You see that when I did the formula, you will notice that there was no comma and there was no 0.00. I had to use the format painter, and I applied the formatting on this cell to all the other cells. So look at it, you see that I'm still having the accounting there. I'm still having accounting here. The formatting is still there. I'm still having the accounting here. Look at the accounting here. Look at the accounting here. Look at the accounting. You can see if I select the cell, look at it, it's still there because I applied the formatting there. I applied it. The formula was here, the formula was here, and the formula was here. So this three was where I applied. This was sum, this was subtotal, and this was subtotal. So you can see the accounting is there. But if I select any cell out of it, by default, the number formatting is general. But I apply the formatting on this. And how you apply a formatting, let me say I type in 57,000, right? Now you see that there is no format, this is general. So what I just did was I selected this cell. I like the formatting that is here. After selecting it, I go to my home tab. Under this clipboard, I select format painter. What I want to just copy is the formatting here, and I'll just apply it here. And that's all. Then you can see accounting. That's what I did with those cells. Did you get that?
All right, thank you.
Okay. So I'll just delete that. Even here, I can even clear the formatting. If I don't want the accounting to be here, I can just come to editing section of the home tab, and I'll clear all format, and it goes back to general. Right. So, but please, you can check my YouTube channel. I did a series on how to get started with Excel. I explained all this in details. You can check that. That's why I didn't go to the basics. So please, I'll also send maybe in the follow-up mail that will be coming up with the link to the replay. I'll send you a link to my YouTube channel and to my Facebook group. You can join. That's where I post most of I release video on a weekly basis. You can get all those things in details, and you'll see how all those things work, right? So let's go ahead.